Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. Well, the trial is underway for Chris Kyle and Littlefield, Chris Kyle's friend, murder. And the suspect who's being tried is Eddie Roth. Now, if you watched the latest news, which I did, I saw that when Eddie Roth was arrested, he appeared to be ranting, which is interesting all by itself. Now, if you watched some of my previous videos on the Colorado shooting by none other than James Holmes, and if you watched my other videos that I posted on Jared Loughner, he's the Tucson shooter that shot Gabriel Gifford in the head, killed a federal judge, killed a little innocent girl, a number of other bystanders. They all appeared to be mentally deranged. Their eyes were rolling in their heads. Now, I don't know about Eddie Roth's, but I do know about Jared Loughner and about James Holmes based on the pictures and the videos that we were shown. Now, what I think is really interesting is that we've never seen any toxicology reports on any of these individuals. And I gotta believe when Eddie Roth was arrested, blood samples were taken. What I'm sort of alluding to is who is really at fault for all of these mass murders. Could it be our Veterans Administration? Not intentionally. One of the greatest expense that the military experiences, more so than any other expense, I know it's hard to believe, is the cost of psychotropic drugs. What do you think they're doing with all those drugs? Why do you think so many military personnel that return, veterans, commit suicide? Do you not think that blood samples are being taken from those individuals as well? Do you not think that the VA records need to be examined on all of these people? We never did see what Adam Lanza looked like, or even if he ever existed, which I don't think he did. But if he did, I'm pretty certain that they'd find high levels of psychotropic drugs in his bloodstream as well. People don't wake up in the morning and start slaughtering innocent people unless there's something seriously wrong with them. You know, if you go back about 20 or 30 years, you had that shooter in the tower in Texas. He killed a number of innocent people with a high-powered rifle. When they did an autopsy on him, they found that he had a growth in his brain. That might explain why he did what he did. But normal people don't wake up and start slaughtering innocent people. Not unless they're not in their normal state of mind. I think what has to happen, again, is that all of these individuals, we have to be able to determine through the toxicology reports what kind of chemicals were raging through their bodies. Problem is, you're never going to get that information. If the government is involved, which I believe they are, you're never going to get that information. What we know about Eddie Roth, from what we've been told, is he never saw any combat. So PTSD is a far-fetched dream that his defense has. We also know from what we've been told that what his job was at the air base in Iraq was to look after Islamic terrorists that were captured. Was he converted? Well, if you look at his photographs with his beard and shaved mustache, no different than Bowie Bergdahl's Papa, yeah, he converted. Something to think about, is it not? Once again, people just don't wake up, start slaughtering innocent people. Not unless they've been given psychotropic drugs and possibly even orders to commit those horrific crimes. Obama, we know, will do anything that he can to take away our Second Amendment rights. That's what Fast and Furious was all about. That's what Sandy Hook was all about. That's what the DC shipyard shooting was all about. That's what all these events are all about. So far, he hasn't been able to achieve his objective. But that's not to say he's not going to continue trying. It's really unfortunate that the country's in the state that it's in. And there seems to be nothing that anyone can do about any of it. I told you what I think. So what do you think?